Next up, we got how good was Adrian Peterson actually? Now, y'all let me know who y'all top three NFL. I don't know why I say NFL. Top three running backs of all time. Y'all let me know who y'all top three is. Mine personally, Walter Payton, number one. Walter Payton, number two. And Walter Payton, number three. Y'all let me know who y'all top three is. Hey, let's see what it is. Time by.
Adrian Peterson's life should have been nothing more than a sad story. Losing loved ones to drunk drivers and organized crime is enough for most to give up on their dreams. But Adrian's built different. The pain fueled him to chase greatness on the gridiron. In the end, his football career was filled with epic highs and brutal
Bro, Adrian Peterson was on like 17 teams, wasn't he?
lows.
I didn't even know he played for the Cardinals. I think he would have played for Cardinals like 2 years.
But how good was Adrian Peterson actually?
Showtime, baby. Godspeed right here, baby. Bam, bam. Let's go.
From the moment Peterson was born, he was expected to be a star athlete. Both of Peterson's parents had impressive athletic backgrounds. His mom, Bonita Brown, was a 3-time Texas high school track and field state champion who attended the University of Houston on an athletic scholarship as a sprinter and long jumper. His dad, Nelson Peterson, played basketball for Idaho State and had dreams of making it to the NBA. But his career was derailed when his brother accidentally shot him in the leg. So it was up to Adrian to fulfill his father's dreams of becoming a pro athlete. And first things first, he would have to get into sports himself. Born and raised in Palestine, Texas, Adrian's best friend was his older brother Brian. They were an inseparable duo, always playing outside.
I loved my brother so much. You know, it was just me and him.
And one day when Adrian was just 7 years old and Brian was 9, it was business as usual. The two were riding their bikes and it was a great day until the unexpected happened. Out of nowhere, a drunk driver came flying down the street, and before Brian could get out of the way, he was struck and killed. The whole time, Adrian was across the street, witnessing his brother and best friend being murdered.
What? Are you serious? Bro, that's so bold, bro. I was just talking about this in another video, bro. Drunk drivers. Oh my God, bro. He said he was only 9 years old, bro. 9. He didn't even get to live to if he was a teenager yet. Oh my.
I wouldn't wish on anyone, you know, but it made me strong. You know, it did.
After experiencing something that traumatic, he needed an outlet for all of his pain, anger, and sorrow. That outlet became playing sports, specifically football.
I played running back and I played defense, played linebacker. I loved it.
He began playing Pop Warner football and channeled those emotions on the field. By the time he was 12, Peterson was a star in the making. Even at that young of an age, his coach was telling all of the other kids to remember that they once played with Peterson. Peterson's dad served as an assistant coach for the team and was so impressed with his son's nonstop motor that he gave him the nickname All Day.
I was on the go all day, running around.
And just when it looked like things were going Peterson's way, he was forced to say goodbye to another loved one. When he was 13, his dad was arrested for money laundering in connection with the sale of crack cocaine.
And my mother cried all night, all day.
And sentenced to 10 years in prison. Losing his dad after having already seen his brother and best friend killed lit Peterson's inner fire to strive for greatness that much more. At Palestine High School, he developed into a 3-sport standout athlete in football, basketball, and track. Following in his mom's footsteps, Peterson dominated the 100 and 200 meter, triple jump, and long.
I played 100. I was a 100, 200. 200 relay, 100 relay. So like I forgot because I kind of forget the terms, but I knew there was like, you know, the relay, obviously I knew it was, but I didn't know like what the term is. I don't know if is it called a 2x2? Is that a thing, a 2x2, a 200? I forgot, bro. But I did the relays for 200, did relays for 100. And what else I did? I hated. I was not a long distance sprinter, bro. Not a long distance. You know what I'm saying? But But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, track was definitely.
jump competitions. His high school
never did no
coach
long
believed
jumps
that
either.
he could have become an Olympic sprinter if he had focused on that rather than football. Instead, Peterson combined that elite speed with absurd strength on the gridiron. He was a supernatural athlete, but on the field, he also just played and ran angrier than anyone else out there. As a junior, he ran for 2,051 yards on 246 rushes for an average of
Damn.
8.3 yards per carry while scoring 22 touchdowns.
They literally gave this dude the ball 200 times, bro. You know how many carries he had that in, what do you say, 1 year, right? 200 carries?
He ran for 2,051 yards on 246 rushes for an average of 8.3 yards per carry while scoring 22 touchdowns. Peterson then somehow took his game to a whole nother level his senior year. He rushed for 2,960 yards on only 252 attempts for an eye-opening 11.7 yards per carry and 32 touchdowns. He was so unstoppable that people started to talk about him potentially skipping college and going straight to the NFL. However, that was not allowed, so Peterson had to take the traditional college route. He was a consensus 5-star recruit and was listed
That's
as
so
the top.
bold, though. I mean, I understand, because I think what you in high school, you like, coming out of high school, you probably like 17 years old, right? 18, yeah, you 18 years old coming out of high school, playing against 24-year-olds, 25-year-olds, grown men who've been in the league for 17 seasons, working out, benching 225 as they warm up, and you just an 18-year-old with some skill. You know what I'm saying? That skill might get you far, but hey, they don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, I understand it, but it's just bold because, like, LeBron did not play college. You know how cool it'd be if you didn't have to go to college? You was that sweet, you didn't have to go to college, bro. You know how cool, like, honestly think about that. You don't have to go to college, you that sweet, bro.
Running back and overall prospect.
I literally want to do that. When I heard LeBron do that, I'm like, bro, I want to do that so bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? That motivated me, bro.
2004 class. He also was named the top high school player by College Football News and won the Hall Trophy as the U.S. Army National Player of the Year. Every college was begging Peterson to come to their campus, and he had offers from all of the top programs across the country, like Miami, USC, Texas, UCLA, and Oklahoma. With the freedom to go anywhere, Peterson decided to become an Oklahoma Sooner.
Pull it out of here, man, and tell us who you're going to play for.
Lieutenant, University of Oklahoma.
The second he stepped on campus in Norman, Peterson was thrown into the deep end, and it was sink or swim. It was clear that he couldn't take his time transitioning to the college game like almost any other freshman would be able to. Everybody knew his name and reputation, and they expected him from day one to live up to the insane hype. With all eyes on him, Peterson in each of his first 9 games rushed for more than 100 yards, setting a freshman record. He finished the season with 1,925 rushing yards, which led the conference and set another NCAA freshman record. Peterson carried the Sooners to a perfect regular season and a berth in the national championship game, where
I ain't know he was this sweet, though. That's crazy.
Oklahoma fell to USC. Despite this record-breaking season, Peterson finished second to USC quarterback Matt Leinart in the Heisman Trophy voting.
Dang.
But true freshmen are almost never considered for that award, so coming in second was still quite the honor. Peterson also became the first freshman in school history to be named a first-team AP All-American. After a storybook freshman season, there wasn't a single football fan who didn't know Peterson's name or terrorizing running style. He was an unstoppable wrecking ball that took no prisoners when he had the football in his hands. But after years of delivering punishment to opponents, Peterson's playing style finally caught up to him. As a sophomore, he struggled to stay healthy and missed all or part of 4 games with a high ankle sprain. Even so, he managed to rush for 1,108 yards that season. Peterson's junior year was set to be his final chance to solidify his spot on the Mount Rushmore of college football running backs. It also gave him the opportunity to do something he had been waiting years for, to play in front of his dad. Peterson's dad was released from prison, and he was able to be at the Sooners' Week 7 matchup against Iowa State, with his dad in the stands for the first time since he was just a little boy. Peterson, on Oklahoma's final drive of the game, broke off a 53-yard touchdown run, but what was supposed to be the exclamation point for an extremely special day, where he rushed for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns, quickly turned into a nightmare, because when Peterson dove into the end zone, he broke his collarbone. The injury sidelined him for the rest of the regular season and created
I'm trying to tell y'all, stop this hurdling. Y'all think y'all sweet, bro. We literally just react to a hurdle. We literally just react to it. But told y'all, stop this hurdling, bro. Y'all think y'all sweet now. Y'all think y'all sweet now.
serious doubts about his long-term durability when he declared for the 2007 NFL Draft. Even though Peterson had rushed for over 4,000 yards and 41 touchdowns in only 31 career college games, and was being compared to all-time NFL greats, the teams at the top of the draft didn't believe in him.
You never know with the guys, which direction they might go.
So on draft night, Peterson fell to the Minnesota Vikings at pick number 7.
The Minnesota Vikings select Adrian Peterson, running back, Oklahoma.
As if he needed any more motivation, his goal became to show those 6 teams who passed on him that they made a massive mistake. Throughout Peterson's rookie campaign, he was a man on a mission, steamrolling anyone in his way. In Week 6 against the Bears, he set an NFL record for all-purpose yards in a game with 361, thanks to 224 rushing, 9 receiving, and 128 return yards.
Here is Peterson driving to the end
what?
zone,
He was a
and Tillman
cover?
is blocked, and Peterson gets in for the score.
And he wasn't done setting history that season. Only 2 weeks later, in a game against the Chargers, Peterson set the league's single-game rushing yard record with 296 yards on the ground, while also scoring 3 touchdowns.
To the 10, touchdown.
In 14
See, I feel
games,
like goats like Adrian Peterson, he should have stayed on the same team for his whole career, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just like Frank Gore. Frank Gore, another one, he was on the 49ers. He should have stayed on the 49ers, bro. Why did he start going different teams? Like, bro, once you start getting old, just quit, bro. First of all, and don't try to say it's for the money or something like that, because you should have been saving your money this whole time anyways. What you thought it was going to last forever? You know what I'm saying? So don't say it's about the money. You should, retire in the state. Now, if they not paying you, that's a different situation. If they're not paying you the money that you deserve, you know what I'm saying? You in your prime, like Lamar Jackson in his prime, and they're not trying to pay him the money. So I understand they go to a different team. But if you obviously, like Frank Gore, he left, and he wasn't sweet like that no more. He was literally a power back that was like, come on. You feel me? Like,
played that year. He ran for 1,341 yards and 12 touchdowns. Despite missing 2 games due to injury, Peterson finished second in the league in total rushing yards, first in rushing yards per game, won NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, was named second-team All-Pro, and made the Pro Bowl. Facing off against the league's best players in the Pro Bowl, Peterson went out and ran for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. On his way to winning the game's MVP, he became the first rookie since Marshall Faulk in 1994 to win the award. His performance capped off one of the most dominant rookie seasons in NFL history, and left no doubt that the 6 teams who had passed on him in the draft would regret doing so for years to come. After a picture-perfect start to his career, expectations were sky-high for year 2. Before the season started, he even went on the record saying his goals for the year were to win league MVP and rush for over 2,000 yards. While Peterson ultimately fell short of these extremely lofty goals, he didn't go down without a fight. That season, he led the league in rushing with 1,760 yards, which was third most ever by a player in his second season, and he was named first-team All-Pro. The following season in 2009, Peterson led the NFL in another major category for the first time, rushing touchdowns with 18. That was in addition to his 1,383 rushing and 436 receiving yards, which helped him be named first-team All-Pro for a second straight year. 2010 was more of the same for Peterson, 1,298 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns, along with another All-Pro and Pro Bowl selection. By this point, the Vikings had seen enough from Peterson to realize he had the potential to be.
The thing about Adrian Peterson, what made him so great was the fact that his legs never stopped moving, bro. And that's what they teach you as a ball carrier, running back, no matter what, running back, receiver, no matter what you are, never stop moving your legs, right? And that's why you see, like, when somebody get hit, one person like tackle them, but you still moving your legs, and then somebody else come and it's like a gang tackle, but you still moving your legs, so you end up breaking all the tackles and keep running, or you just pushing the pile for more yards. You know what I'm saying? That's what Adrian Peterson, that's what his biggest thing was, bro. If you watch his legs, bro, his legs never stop moving, bro. Never stop moving.
One of the greatest to ever play the game. So the day before the 2011 season began, Minnesota gave Peterson a 7-year, $96 million extension that made him the highest-paid running back in league history. With everything going Peterson's way, the ensuing season brought him crashing back to reality. Late in the year, he suffered his first major injuries in the NFL, a torn ACL and MCL, the type of injuries that can sometimes forever rob a player of his speed or agility. All of a sudden, there were questions about Peterson's future with his durability and athleticism. The 2012 season was his chance to answer everyone's questions. With as late in the previous season as Peterson got hurt, many weren't sure he would even be healthy for week 1. But in true superhuman fashion, just 8 months after having his ACL reconstructed, Peterson was back. As someone who thrives facing setbacks and being doubted, he wasn't phased.
Hold on real quick. Hold on. Are we back?
And ran with a vengeance. He treated defenders like crash test dummies as he galloped for 2,097 rushing yards, which was second most in NFL history and just 9 yards shy of Eric Dickerson's single-season record. Peterson brought home the league MVP.
Thank you for believing. Now I can share this with you on Twitter.
And Comeback Player of the Year awards for his extraordinary return after suffering a very serious injury, following a solid 2013 campaign where he became the 3rd fastest player to reach 10,000 career rushing yards. Peterson's quest to become an all-time great was placed on pause.
For the National Football League, breaking overnight, one of its brightest stars has been charged with child abuse.
Ahead of week 2 that season.
I remember seeing this. I remember all this. And y'all remember that one, like that he showed in the beginning, but that one little interview, and he was like, "Wait, are you Adrian Peterson?" "Yeah, I'm Adrian Peterson." "Oh my God, Adrian Peterson. Oh my God."
Peterson was indicted on child abuse charges for disciplining his son by spanking him with a wooden switch. Peterson was placed on the NFL's exempt list.
Adrian will be away from the team and focus on his personal situation
before being suspended for the remainder of the year. During the next offseason, Peterson was given a second chance. The U.S. District Court judge ruled in the NFL Player Association's lawsuit against the NFL on Peterson's behalf, so he was reinstated. When he returned, Peterson showed zero signs of rust as he led the league in rushing yards and touchdowns with 1,485.
Adrian Peterson is definitely a men's society, bro. The dude was wearing no gloves, bro. I think any football player who wear no gloves, you are a men's society, bro. It's literally no way why you're not using gloves, bro. Like, do you not care about your fingers? Honestly, like that just scares me, bro.
And 11.
Especially as a running back, you're not wearing gloves, bro. You are a menace, a straight menace. And bro, even worse, a receiver. Oh my God, if you are a receiver not wearing gloves, you are a menace. I don't know what's worse, a receiver or a running back. I don't know, bro.
First player to lead the league in rushing 3 different times since Barry Sanders, and was the oldest running back to ever be named first-team All-Pro at the age of 30. He went into 2016 looking to string together back-to-back dominant seasons, but he didn't have the chance to do so. In his Week 2 game, Peterson suffered a torn meniscus and an LCL sprain that kept him out until Week 15, which was his final appearance of the year.
But because Adrian Peterson cannot get up.
After the season, Minnesota did what was once considered to be unimaginable. They moved on from Adrian Peterson. The Vikings didn't exercise his contract option, so he signed a 2-year, $7 million deal with the Saints. It was a fresh start for Peterson, who had been the face of the Vikings franchise for a decade. In New Orleans, Peterson's play was as off as he looked wearing his new jersey. After rushing for a total of 81 yards in his first 4 games, the Saints traded him mid-season to the Cardinals. In Arizona, he played in 6 games and rushed for 448 yards before suffering a season-ending neck injury. The Cardinals released Peterson after the season, and it appeared his career had officially been derailed by injuries. But the Washington Redskins decided to take
I don't understand why people have to, they think they have to, I don't understand why these, I understand, like, obviously you want to stay in the league as long as possible, bro. But after you made your mark on the league, it's time to retire. You get in and get out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have injuries. Especially. If you have injuries and stuff like that, bro, it's no reason why you should be still trying to play in the league after 30 years old. It's literally no reason. It's literally no reason. You're 30, bro. You've been here for a decade. 10 years is a long time. A decade? Do you remember 10 years ago? Do you remember what you was doing 10 years ago? You have to think about it. 10 years ago, I was 10, bro. I was 10 years ago. I don't remember not one thing I was doing when I was 10. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, bro, that's a long ass time. You know what I'm saying? So if you've been in the league that long, that's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing. So you know what I'm saying? Take your flowers. After that he got released, he should be like, all right, I'm retiring. You feel me? Like even Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady, yeah, he's old. How old is Tom Brady? Like 40? How old is Tom? I don't know how Tom Brady is, how he is, but even like Tom Brady hasn't really suffered that many injuries. So yeah, he could still be in the league. But if you're still in the league and you're like struggling with staying healthy, bro, just retire. It's not that serious, especially since you already had the money. You already have the money, bro. What else are you trying to do? You already proved your point. You already a solidified GOAT. They already have statues made. Do they have statues made of Adrian Peterson? Vikings fans?
Flyer on it, signing Peterson to a one-year veteran minimum deal. In what was set to be his final shot in the league, Peterson went out and showed the world he wasn't done just yet. He rushed for 1,042 yards and became the 5th player in league history to rush for over 1,000 yards in a season at the age of 33 or older. Having shown he still had some left in the tank, Washington signed him to a 2-year, $8 million contract. In 2019, Peterson rushed for a respectable 898 yards, but the Redskins released him prior to the following season beginning. Peterson then signed with the Lions and rushed for 604 yards and 7 touchdowns. Then heading into the 2021 campaign, it once again seemed like Peterson's career was over. No team signed him until injury problems surfaced for the Titans' backfield in November. Peterson rushed for 82 yards in 3 games for Tennessee before being released and playing 1 game for the Seahawks. While he only played a single game for Seattle, Peterson managed to set some history by scoring a rushing touchdown and becoming the first player in league history to score a rushing touchdown with 6 different teams. Despite going unsigned this past offseason, Peterson still has not officially retired, but if his career is indeed over, it was one that will never be forgotten.
Why don't you retire? This dude is literally crazy.
14,918 career rushing yards and 120 rushing touchdowns are respectively 5th and 4th all-time. He was a 4-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, and made the NFL's All-Decade team for the 2010s. Not to mention his MVP season in 2012 is still the last time a non-quarterback won the award. Adrian Peterson's football career can be remembered as one of resilience. His greatest seasons always came after injury, or time missed when everyone counted him out. He was a finalist for Comeback Player of the Year 3 times during his career and won the award once. There were plenty of times Peterson could have given up, but he never did, and he was the greatest running back of the past decade because of it.
Wow, man. Hey, y'all let me know if y'all want more of this channel. Non-stop. W non-stop.